A man with no medical training performed surgery on the 16 wounded soldiers in a storm-tossed sea. Every patient survived. He was a high school dropout. Tonight, 5 people who faked entire lives and were so good at it that reality gave up arguing. A fake surgeon celebrated as a war hero. A village girl who became a princess from an island that never existed. A con woman who borrowed millions by inventing a famous father. A mailman who ran a psychiatric hospital. And a woman who nearly convinced the world she was a murdered Russian princess. 5 masks, 5 lives, and 1 uncomfortable question. How much of identity is just confidence? Imposter 1 Ferdinand Demara, The Great Imposter, 1951. The Korean War. Aboard a Canadian destroyer, the ship's surgeon faces 16 wounded men after a battle. One needs a bullet removed from beside his heart. The surgeon has never operated on anyone. Ever. His name is Ferdinand Demara, and he is not a doctor. He's a dropout from Massachusetts using a real doctor's credentials. The night before surgery, he speed reads a textbook on thoracic operations in his cabin. Then he opens a man's chest, removes the bullet, and saves him. All 16 patients survive. That was his mistake. The surgeries were so impressive, they made the newspapers. The real doctor read them. The Navy quietly shipped him home. Canada declined to prosecute. It was too embarrassing for everyone. And this was just one life. Demara was also a monk, a prison warden, a college dean, a cancer researcher, a teacher, each time with borrowed papers, an astonishing memory, and one rule he explained himself. In any organization, there's a lot of unused authority. Take it. Nobody questions confidence. Psychologists studied him. His IQ was near genius, his memory nearly photographic. He could have earned any of those degrees. Asked why he faked instead, Demara gave the answer that defines every imposter since. Rascality, pure rascality. Impostor 2 Princess Caribou from the island of Javasu, England, 1817. A confused young woman in a black turban appears in a Gloucestershire village, speaking a language nobody recognizes. The local magistrate takes her in. Slowly, her story emerges through gestures and strange writing. She is Princess Caribou, kidnapped by pirates from her island kingdom of Javasu, escaped by leaping into the channel. High society melts. She fences, swims naked at dawn, prays to a god called Allah Tala'a, writes in flowing script. Linguists examine her language and declare it possibly genuine. Portraits are painted. Newspapers swoon. For 10 weeks, she lives as royalty. Then a boarding house keeper reads her description in the paper. Princess Caribou is Mary Baker, a cobbler's daughter from Devon, a former servant girl. The language, invented. The writing, invented. The island of Javas, it never existed anywhere. She had fooled linguists, aristocrats, and scientists with pure commitment to the character. Here's the beautiful part. Society wasn't angry, it was enchanted. The magistrate's family paid her passage to America. She eventually returned to England and sold leeches to a hospital for a living. Quietly. Under her real name, the Princess of Nowhere had proven something uncomfortable. Exotic is whatever we want to believe. Impostor 3, Cassie Chadwick, the Carnegie heiress who never was. Cleveland, 1902. A woman lets a lawyer glimpse a promissory note for $2 million, signed Andrew Carnegie. She swears him to secrecy. She confides, Carnegie's secret illegitimate daughter. The lawyer tells everyone exactly as she planned. Whispers race through Ohio's banks. The logic is irresistible. Carnegie is the richest man alive. When he dies, she inherits everything. So banks fight to lend her money. Millions of dollars against forged notes. A predatory interest they assume she'll never notice. The signature was forged at her kitchen table. Carnegie had no daughter. They never checked. Asking would insult the world's richest man. For 8 years, she lives like an empress. Diamond necklaces, 30 closets of gowns, a gold piano. In 1904, a Boston banker finally demands repayment, and the pyramid collapses in weeks. At her trial, Andrew Carnegie himself sat in the audience. He wanted to see her. Asked about the forged notes bearing his name, Carnegie noted he hadn't signed a note in 30 years. The banks she ruined had lent a stranger millions on gossip. One collapsed entirely. Cassie died in prison. Her real inheritance was the lesson bankers still teach. Verify. Always verify. Impostor 4, Gert Postel, the mailman who ran the asylum. Germany, 1995. A prestigious psychiatric hospital hires a new senior physician, Doctor of Medicine Gert Postel. He beats out dozens of real psychiatrists for the job. His interview is brilliant. Gert Postel is a mailman. His entire medical vocabulary comes from memorizing psychiatric textbooks and a talent for confident jargon. For a year and a half, he runs wards, supervises real doctors, testifies in court as an expert. He gives lectures on conditions he invents on the spot. Colleagues nod and take notes. One invented diagnosis nearly entered use. His secret, he later explained, was that psychiatry rewards obscurity. The less they understood him, the smarter they assumed he was. He'd done it before, years earlier, as a fake government doctor. A routine background check would have ended everything. Nobody ran one. When he was finally exposed, the establishment's embarrassment was so complete that his trial became a comedy. He served his sentence, wrote a bestseller, and toured giving lectures. On psychiatry, real psychiatrists attended. This time, they knew. They came anyway. Imposter Rind Anna Anderson. The Resurrected Princess. Berlin, 1920. A young woman is pulled from a canal after a suicide attempt. She refuses to give a name. 2 years later, in the asylum, another patient stares at her and gasps. She recognizes her. The Grand Duchess Anastasia, youngest daughter of the last Tsar of Russia, supposedly executed with her family in 1918. The woman eventually agrees. She is Anastasia. She escaped the execution, she says, rescued by a soldier. For 60 years, she maintains it. Royal relatives split violently. Some swear she's real. Some swear fraud. She knows impossible details of palace life. Scars match. Her ears, experts testify, match photographs. Courts hear the case for decades. The longest trial in German history ends without a verdict either way. She dies in 1984, still Anastasia to her supporters, case eternally open. Then, 1991, the Romanov graves are found. DNA testing begins, the world holds its breath. Anna Anderson's DNA from a hospital sample is tested against the royal remains. No match. She was Franziska Szankowska, a Polish factory worker who vanished in 1920. In 2007, the last 2 Romanov bodies were found. Every family member accounted for. Anastasia died with her family, age 17. A factory worker had fooled royalty, courts, and history itself for 6 decades. Or maybe, after a canal, an asylum, and a world that wanted a miracle, she'd simply fooled herself first. So, 5 imposters. What made them possible? Not their skill. Our wishes. Every imposter sells something people already want to believe. A hero surgeon, an exotic princess, a secret heiress, a brilliant doctor, a resurrected child. The con is never really about the imposter. It's about the audience, which is why it still works. Today they have LinkedIn profiles and AI headshots instead of forged letters. The masks got digital. The wishes stayed the same. So here's my question for you. Which of these 5 would have fooled you? Be honest. Tell me in the comments. The most honest answer gets pinned. And subscribe, because the next story is already wearing a mask. Verify, always verify.